Welcome, everyone, and thank you for being here today. For today's Twitter Spaces, we welcome the team behind Decentraland Studios. We have with us today Alejandro, who is in charge of operations and communications, Francisco, who is product and designer, and Omar, who is the developer. And for those of you in the audience who have yet to hear about Decentraland Studios, it's a registry of skilled creators and studios that are here to help make your Decentraland ideas a reality. And this registry was created in order to help empower all the amazing Decentraland creators and help Decentraland grow in general as an ecosystem. So today, what we're going to start out with talking about is their recent addition to their jobs feature. And after that, we'll dive into the other resources they have available for the community and people looking to hire, including their studios, projects, and resources area. And I'll announce this a little bit later to see if we have more people join us, but we were hoping also if there's any studios, creators, or anybody part of the registry, I would love them to request to come on stage and for you guys to later in the show talk a little bit about your experience so far and how it's been being part of the registry. So yeah, cool. Got introductions out of the way, and for now it's your guys' turn. So what I usually love to start out with is each of you guys, I'll call you out and give you a little bit of introduction of who you are and how you got into Decentraland. Let's start with you first, Alejandro. So if you unmute yourself and go for it.
Awesome. Thank you, Fractilians, for this introduction. It has been great. My name is Alejandro Coda. I think I already talked to all of or most of the studios that create content in Decentraland. My background comes from sales. I have a degree on marketing. It's been like almost a year since we started this project, maybe less, around 8 months, I think. I was this idea was actually from the current CTO, Gemel. He decided that I was going to help this project, and this is how he onboarded me to this registry.
Oh, wonderful. I forgot about that. I remember you telling me about that, but I forgot it was Yemel brought you in. Awesome. So Omar, I would love to hear from you.
Okay, I'm Omar from Argentina. I joined this team a couple of months after they started to work in the registry because they were sharing developers with another DAO team. And when the product became to growth, Gemel asked me to take handle of this and start to improve a lot this beautiful product that we are working on.
Awesome.
So I'm working for the studios like 8 months ago and help to create a lot of new improvements in this product.
So Yemel again, awesome. And Francisco, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Francisco. I'm a product designer from Argentina, also like Alejandro and Omar. To answer like your question, I have been following the development of Decentraland since 2017. At the time, like I was, I was aware of the project and I was in contact with Yemel and Esteban and so on. So I have following the project for a long time. I have been following it since like for a couple of years now. And a couple of months ago, since Decentraland Studios at the time was called like Verified Partners Registry, which was a different and in my opinion like a more complicated name, started to grow. Yemel actually also was managing the team and reached out to me because they needed a designer and someone to think a bit more about the product and how to organize the tasks and prioritize the features and so on. So I have been working with Alejandro and Omar for what I feel has been around 5 or 6 months now. So yes, that's me.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, so basically like everything that we see in studios.decentraland.org, that was all developed by just you guys, or did you also work with outside the other squads as well? How was that?
So yeah, we basically do most of the stuff that we have on the studios. We have our own developer, as we mentioned before. We have Francisco that works on the product, and we do work with the other studios. Like for example, with the other squad. Like for example, which was the name of the I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember now. The Grant Support Squad. I mean, sorry,
The governance.
the governance and the Grant Support Squad. They recommend us a lot of studios or a lot of creators that maybe they request a grant and they see the potential that they can bring to the platform. So we are always in touch with other squad.
Yeah, awesome. That's exactly how the life of a squad member of the DAO. I work with everybody and we help each other. So yeah, let's dive into your latest release, Jobs. Can you give everybody a little overview of Jobs and how this feature was added and why it was added? Let's start with you, Alejandro. I mean, all of you guys can just jump in at this point. Go for it.
Awesome. Yes. Job is our latest feature. This tool was created to empower brands to post job openings exclusively for Decentraland verified studios. With this functionality, like anyone can now create a job listing specifying the type of project they wish to develop, the timeline, their budget, like any information they think that is useful to make a job post. They can now do it, and all the Decentraland verified studios can browse the list of available jobs and apply to any that interests them. Something that it's remarkable that just happened like seconds ago. We deployed this new feature like a week ago, I think, and one job post was the first one. Was created I think yesterday, and we just realized that one of the studios made or sent the first proposal. So we believe that this tool is really useful and was needed, and we are really happy and proud of it now that it's now working.
No, that's super exciting. So I remember talking to you about it, and that's like the major accomplishment for you guys. That's exciting. I know I wanted to dive in there and take a look, and now I can. Well, I'm not a verified user, but it's exciting for you guys to see actually all your hard work come to life, you know, being used, connecting, you know, people wanting to build within Decentraland with the amazing, you know, collection of studios and individual creators. So that's awesome.
Yes, it is.
Can you guys hear me?
It is.
I just got a
phone
call in the middle of it. I was like, oh no, don't rug me. Sorry about that. Go for it, Alejandro.
No, I was going to say that this tool that we created and developed was after a lot of hard work. So because first we needed like a registry, right? We had to go through all the process to list and verify all the studios or their skills. And it was like after a lot of work that we came up with this idea, something that was needed and something that we put a lot of effort and thought on it. We had been doing with some of the studios some usability tests. I can see Risk here on the space. He helped us creating and improving this tool. It was really good and it was a nice experience, right?
No, I love that. So it seems like having this process set in place is definitely like helping with the onboarding of all the brands and individuals. And I'm curious is when it comes to like, you know, people who are newer to Decentraland wanting to come in, I know you also have the amazing Metaverse Guide. Is it something like, do they initially reach out to you, or a lot of times new people go directly there? Or how have you seen that flow be? Because I'm always curious about, especially new people, they don't really necessarily know what they want at first, right?
Yes, you are right. We have created a lot of tools for people that come to our space. So, for example, we have developed the Metaverse Guide. It's a really good tool for those ones who have maybe a little bit of idea of the Metaverse, or maybe they don't have like any idea. We made a step further in supporting the Metaverse community by creating the Ultimate Guide into the Metaverse. This guide serves as a valuable resources for brand owners, marketing agencies, providing insights into the Metaverse and how to leverage to reach their audience. It covers basically the basic of the Metaverse, and also you could find like really cool activations. There are a lot of case studies, like the main ones you are going to find it in there. It have been downloaded I don't know, like 400 times. I'm not sure if you have seen it before, if you have read it. That's one of the ways in when we get approached, we will definitely recommend them to maybe dive into the guide. Also, another of the tools that we have available on our site is the intercom. It's a tool in where they can talk to our team. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's going to be through an email, but it's a good way in which any member of the community or maybe any brands that want to do an activation in Decentraland, we can do the hand holding this way.
Sorry. No, I love hearing that because I think that's such an important element that sometimes is missed, and it's wonderful, onboarding a lot of the communities, constantly discussing how to help with that process and having all that available for anyone new or even just the creators to come in and read this guide. I've definitely downloaded it, and I actually direct a lot of people who are interested in Decentraland, go check this out, and then guide them into the communities and all the other places. But that's a really good starting place, and I know you guys worked a lot on that as well. So wonderful. Is there anything else you guys want to share about jobs? I know it's brand new. You guys had your first actual job posted, or yeah.
Yeah, we are super excited about this. It's sometimes when you put a lot of effort behind one tool, you are like expecting it to work. And now that there are some job posted and that the studios are already applying to it, that make us feel really, really well about it. And let's hope that this tool will bring a lot of business opportunity to all the studios. Of course, we are trying to push the traffic to our site. We are running some marketing campaigns with some KPIs that we can share here. We have created some ads in order to bring traffic to Decentraland jobs. Like we have, I don't know, like a lot of people have landed in our site. Like through Meta, around 32 leads we got. Hopefully someday with our job, they will like start posting jobs, right?
Yeah, I love that because I remember reading in your grant renewal, that you had a really nice chunk of marketing budget. So it's great to see that your efforts are actually coming to fruition and people are, coming through, following, hopefully, like you said, creating job posts but another question. So they can actually they don't have to go through the job post. They can also reach directly to the individual studios, correct?
Yes, of course. I'm not sure if I'm sure you have visited our site,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure about the community. So maybe we can tell them a little bit about what is it Decentraland Studios about.
Perfect. Thank you. Perfect segue. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, maybe I would love, maybe we can dive a little bit talk about verification and how that process works and how you guys came up with the metrics for that, and how people can if it's, especially if somebody's developer has been doing something, what level do they have to be super advanced? Is it more a range depending on what you guys see when you interview? Or yeah, tell us about that.
Okay. I'm going to make a little brief about our project so that everybody gets to know us. Decentraland Studios began around 8 months ago when Jamel, from now the current CTO, recognized the need for a registry of studios. Prior to this project, searching for creators or hiring experienced professional was a little bit challenging. Maybe brands or anyone looking to make an activation in Decentraland had to go through Google searches, maybe Discord interactions, or maybe relying on recommendations. So this idea was really, really great, I think. We believe that creators are a really key element in Decentraland. Thus, our project aims to provide them with opportunities to promote their services, increase their visibility, and attract new clients. By this, I mean that all the studios that are already listed, they get to upload a portfolio, they get to add a description that really represents them, they get to change their their information, maybe like the payment they take, like where are they located. So by being part of Decentraland Studios, they get access to all these opportunities besides the jobs new feature, right? So going back, this registry serves as a platform for the creators to gain exposure, right? And for brands to connect with skilled creators. So if you let me, I will going to share you some information of the early beginning, like the first phase of Decentraland Studios involved serving and validating the skills of the content creators. Our team developed a process to onboard studios, verify their skills, and list them in a public registry. So by this means that at the beginning, when I joined this project, there were only, I don't know, maybe like around 10 different studios that maybe they were like the main ones and we had to go out to the different sites. We went to, I don't know, to freelancers platform, to the different ones. We did Google, we did Discord searches in order to survey all the content creators. So the creators are now required to complete an online form that it's available on our site. It's very, very easy to access. It says join. You will see the button if you want to be listed. This is followed by a verification call with our team to validate their information, review it, and additionally, you asked me like which level of expertise was needed. Creators are assigned to a specific challenge to their applied category. This way, they can showcase their abilities and expertise so that we can validate. We don't test their taste, let's say, but we need to validate that they can provide the service they are applying. I'm not sure if I am making myself clear.
Yeah, this is awesome. Perfect. I wasn't sure. I remember hearing a little bit about this in the past, so it's great that you're sharing this in such detail. And I was curious about that. So it's like challenge based and like it's not based on aesthetics, it's more based on they're able to accomplish the task, right?
Yes, you are right. So at the beginning of the verified partners, our early name, we didn't have this process, but we decided that it was like a good path to take because a lot of studios wanted to apply to all of the categories, and the registry didn't have a lot of sense. It was very inefficient. So by doing this, we made sure that if there is a studio that has, for example, the 3D modeling task, they already went through a verification process. They had to do a little scene in where we asked them to record themselves working on the scene. So it's maybe like a little bit time consuming, but this way we can make sure that the studio can really deliver what they claim.
No, love that. Here, let me, sorry, I was trying to connect. My thing was acting a little bit funky. Yeah, I'm on the studio section right now. And So how many, you were saying earlier, so there's been over 500 completed projects so far, correct? That people through the verified studios have gotten directly through there, is that correct?
So what do we mean that there are over 500 projects added? By this, we mean that, as I mentioned before, all of the studios that are already listed, that I think there are over 140, they are able to upload projects like scenes they have worked on. Maybe if you are a wearable creator and you are already listed, you can upload your portfolio and your different creations. This allowed you to write a small description. This also allowed you to paste your link to maybe to the marketplace. And these are the projects. So there are over 500 projects, and this means that there are around, I think, over 2,000 pictures, because on every project you can upload up to 5 pictures, something like that.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, for the last week, I've been diving in. It's a really fun, like, especially in the studio section. It's really cool to see each individual studio. And I love how you have broken everything up to make it really easy to find people. On the left-hand side, the services is all broken down into all these sections. And so in regards to like services, was that something that evolved over time, or you guys came up with most of these right off the bat, or did some people request certain ones of these, or how has that worked with community?
Yes, at the beginning, I think we only had like 3 or 4 categories. I remember we used to have architecture, and that one involved 3D modeling and programming. But after working on this project for a while, we decided that there were some studios that only worked on 3D modeling, but they didn't do the programming. So we had to evolve, we had to split that category, and we came up with these two new ones, programming and 3D modeling. And also, when we were scouting all these studios, we got to know them, we got to know their businesses. This is why we decided to create new categories, and we are finally now with 9 different categories. I think this is like a good number, and it really helped you to filter and sorting and get the right team to help you.
Yeah, it's fun to play with too. I was in there going, okay, who can I get to do this, this, and this? And it's really cool. And then diving in from there, the UI is it's really, to me, I really appreciate the thought and the design behind it. It really does make it easy to kind of like visually understand what's going on. So kudos to that. Is that who was responsible for that? Is that all of you guys had input on that, or who is the UI UX designer there?
That's me technically, but like the sidebar and the categories, the colors and the icons, like this is something like a constant conversation that we have. So ultimately, like I'm the designer in the team, that's correct, but it's a group effort really. Like this is basically the only things we talk about on a daily basis. So yeah, I wouldn't say I do this all on my own.
No, I love it. I figured, I'm like, I bet you they talk about that all the time, because it's really fun to see, what pops out, what makes sense visually. I come from a background in marketing and graphic design, so I really do appreciate it. So it's very interesting.
Yeah, so we talk about this, and also like circling back to the categories. The categories are also something we talk about, and we are like attentive to the community to understand, mostly Alejandro, but we are trying to understand what new services studios are providing so that we can represent that in our UI. And then like if a company needs a specific service, we want to make sure that we reflect that on our UI so that any brand looking for any specific service is able to find them. So for example, recently we added the entertainment category, which applies, I think, like for the most part, like for DJs, for example, and people who are entertainers within Decentraland, which we didn't have. So yeah, we are constantly talking about this as well.
No, I love that. You gotta include the entertainment. That's what brings so many people in. I love that. And also, another really important category that I think is the creative director, right? Because all of these projects or people coming in, sometimes they have their own internal teams, but I'm sure that's something that people are really needing as well, manage and organize the whole process.
Yeah, something up in the air or something we think about a lot is the case of a brand that wants to jump in Decentraland for the first time and don't know, and like they don't know what to do or how to implement it or who to hire, and then so the creative director usually is kind of like an umbrella term for a person who will help you, like, not only define your idea but also hire the right people to execute your vision. So creative director, at least we think it's an important one. We put a lot of thought into the test that we do to validate that like a candidate is actually a creative director. So yeah, that's an important one as well.
Yeah, I love that and totally agree with you. It's such an important thing because a lot of people, like we were saying and talking about, like that onboarding, having that be a person available is so important, as well as having all the other resources you guys have. Alejandro, were you going to say something? Sorry.
No, you were just saying the right thing. That Fractilian, it's fine.
Awesome. Okay, so another thing I'd love for you guys to talk about. Okay, we went a little bit into projects. Also, the resources section. Was that there before, or did you guys move the resources section to be kind of like part of this? Or tell us a little bit about resources and what it's for.
Let me tell you a little bit about resources. What is it about? Resources, if you are not familiar with it, if you jump into it, you will see that it used to be the awesome repository. So what would you find in resources? So in resources, you will find examples of what can be done in Decentraland. So all the scenes that are in there, they are open source. They are easier to navigate, and also you can try them. So remember that you can also filter through all the different scenes that we have in there. We have SDK 7, for example. We have SDK 6. You can also choose like which difficulty level you would like to see an example of or a scene. You can go through easy, intermediate, or expert, and this is something that we have talked to with a foundation, because all this repository belongs to the GitHub of the Decentraland Foundation, and we decided that it was a really good idea to bring it to the Decentraland Studios in order, for the brands to know the limitation of Decentraland, to see what can be done beside of the other scenes of what they can see on Google, for example. In here, they can have a better idea.
Do you find it's mainly like you're saying the brands and the devs, or do you ever showcase this to like new people just to give them a fun idea, or what have you experienced with that?
So this could be used. This tool is mainly for the studios in a way, because in here they can use it. They are the ones that are going to use it, for example, for a scene. But also we came to the idea that brands might also want to check, like we can do a gaming on our scene. We can bring this kind of movements. So this was like a good way to show them, as an example, right?
Yeah, no, I love that. I also have been diving into there as well. You have a lot of goodies in there to learn and just see, like, kind of get a pulse of what's going on in Decentraland, I think. And I'm curious, like, what are some of the things you guys are working on now that you deployed jobs? Is there anything that you can talk about yet, or what you're talking about? Your marketing efforts are in full force right now. Is there anything else that you're working on?
So we are now translating the Metaverse Guide to different languages. We have the Portuguese one coming, the Spanish one, I think it's already done. And our main focus nowadays that the feature is working and running, and we just saw it with the great news that we gave at the beginning of this conversation, is that our new team, that it's an outsourced team, that is running the marketing campaigns for our project. We are working on we have created and developed new ads in order to bring traffic to the Decentraland studios. We need to bring job opportunities to our Decentraland studios family, and this is where we have all the energy nowadays.
Oh, love that. And I wanted to see if anybody in the audience or if there's any verified partner creators in the audience to welcome you guys up here. I would love to ask some questions if there's anybody here that's part of it. Just raise your hand and come on up, request. I don't know if there's anybody, but maybe that's something for another session, because it's a lot of fun to hear from the different perspectives of, you know, your guys's, the brands, and the actual studios and the individuals. But oh, I think I see one. Rix, there you go. Invite as a speaker. Welcome. Nice to have you back up on Twitter Spaces. Welcome, Riggs. Are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good. Good to talk to you again. Are
Yeah, me too.
saying working with directly, right?
Yeah, actually, I just want raise my hand just to tell them, just to thank them because they did a great job in the last year. I joined them since the beginning, and before DCL Studio, I used to get my, let's say, my clients and people who want to join from Discord. So later they create the DCL Studio, and I start getting lots of people from there. So anyone reach me, I ask them where you got my name from, and they tell me like DCL Studio. And since then I'm cooperating with them, and sometimes I do meeting with Alejandro and like this.
No, I love that. I figured you were part of it, but I wasn't sure. So you said you've been a part of it since the beginning then, right?
I guess, yeah, since they start doing, because they do it. I like the way how they do it now, because they do it on phases. So the first phase, they start as Alejandro say, like they start meeting the studios and making interview and certify each category, each studio what category is it, and so they start doing interview, and it takes with them like almost 6 months or something, because it's lots of work. I believe it's 200 studio or something. So they did all this, and now they move to another, like then they create resources, which is very useful. And I got some of the work from resources. So these resources, you go to it and you find many codes that just ready to use. Just you need to have some like basic skills to implement those resources. And now they recently they start doing this job category, which is very helpful.
No, I love
Yeah,
curious, like going from, like you said, in the back in the day it was more Discord, and now being part of the verified registry.
yeah,
It's like
yeah. Yeah,
go for it. Sorry.
yeah. As like I started from with Decentraland since 2018, so like there was no one wanna build by then. It was like an Iron Age, I believe it was the name, an Iron Age. And after Iron Age, the Bronze Age, which was like 2019, the Bronze Age, and those 2 years was just building contest. No one like will let's say pay or build on his land. So I used to use MetaZone, something called MetaZone. So you do some building and you put it on MetaZone, and people come and buy the building from MetaZone, buy it with mana. So this 2018, 2019. Then on 2020, I start like very little people wanna build 2019 and 20 from Discord. Like, and then 20 and 21, lots of people start contacting on Discord. They want to build, they want to like big companies or big NFT projects, mostly NFT project, mostly by 2020. And then 2021 start big companies, banks, and like as you see, the Coca-Cola and the banks start joining, and most of them, like in 2022, and now they find DCL Studio, or people like me, they find them on the website of Decentraland from DCL Studios. So now, like, almost the Discord people vanished. Like, no one will search on you on Discord. So usually they use Google, and I think Google take them to Decentraland, DCL Studios, so they find what they want there. So this is what I think.
No, I love hearing that. So do you think there's a big difference between like notoriety, like, you know, how somebody finding you on Discord versus on an official,
Definitely,
right?
definitely big difference, big, because usually, like, if we talk business, like if we want to talk business now, usually someone come and, like, let's say, like, client come or someone reach you out, and then they say, like, how much, like, I have 4 lands, how much it costs? So I say, let's say 1,000. Then he tell you, like, no, I saw someone, like, he can build it for 100. Ah, God. So okay, go for him. And then after the 100 guy fail, he will come to you again. So what I want to say is, with Decentraland Studio, you are really verified and you know what you are doing, and you have the proof that you know what you are doing. So when you ask something, you professionally, like, he know, like, you are certified, and you can ask clearly for the compensation of your work, and you can use fairly wage, because you will have competitors. You can't go up and you can't go down a lot. Depend on the market. So Decentraland Studio help in verifying those people and make it more professional somehow.
I love that. I didn't know you were a part of it since the beginning. So happy you're able to come up here and share that with us. I'm curious to
Yeah.
what are some of, like, the like, when you get people coming, are they, a lot of them, like, are newer to Decentraland or more experienced, or what is the range that you get of people requesting you to build for them?
Mostly, like, for I think in this stage, mostly like big brands, like not individual, or maybe individual who has NFT project, because I think we are in the early stage of the metaverse. So not the individual, or maybe individual has one or two lands, and he wanna do he wanna build something. But mostly, I built some stores for shoes store, like shoes store for someone. Now I'm building something for a big bank in Saudi Arabia. So mostly big companies now joining. I believe in the next 2-3 years, more individual work will come, and uh, I believe, like, Decentraland will be it will stay in the top, because on the other metaverses you will have unlimited lands. So I think Decentraland will started for big companies, and it will end for big companies. This is what I think. I don't know.
I'm curious, do you have people to deploy as well?
I didn't hear you.
Oh, most people, have any of the people coming in to deploy their build on worlds as well, or is it mainly just
Uh, no. Usually the people come with their build,
oh, okay, cool.
with their land. So they build on their land. Sometimes some individual come and they want to build in the metaverse. So I offer them like a 1 or 2 years rent. So I offer them with the building, like, free land for 1 or 2 years.
No, I love that.
Yeah, like a package,
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
fascinating. Like, I remember when I first met, like, hearing about this, I'm like, I think it's so cool that in terms of, like, as a project, Alejandro, Omar, and Francisco, that you guys get to, like, connect with all these builders, and you really learn so much from what they're wanting, and obviously from what you've shared already, that you listen to them and try to cater and build what you've done here for them. So
yeah, yeah. We share opinion many times. Like, we made many video calls with them, and they ask me something, and I tell them what I need, like what I really miss in this in Decentraland, like it should be like this. So I tell them my opinion, and they do something for the benefit of all. So they were very useful, I guess.
Yeah, so I think something that's quite important in risks like story, like building in Decentraland is how his job market changed. I think that the fact that he started getting some demand on Discord and then that eventually stopped is something that we as a team have to pay attention to. I think these markets change constantly, and we have to be aware of that so that we can also like cater to this change, like this change in demand and how brands behave towards studios. So personally, I
God
find this.
damn, I love the suck cock because.
Oops.
I removed him for now. You can come back up. I wasn't sure if you were unmuted or not, but I think he just was taking over. That's
Okay.
space, man.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
told you guys, at least we had a good space moment.
Yeah, like it was.
He loved what you talk, so he was singing.
Oh,
Right. It's the first one. I thought this was gonna happen earlier, to be honest.
yep. I didn't know what to do. I was trying to hit any button. I was trying to just to mute him and give him a chance. He just said, "You're out of here." So sorry about that. I didn't mean to kick you.
It's fine.
Go for it, Francisco. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. So to keep it short, this like change in how the market behaves is something that we pay attention to and try to adapt. So yeah, I personally think this is quite interesting to hear.
Yeah, I believe, Francis, as Francis said, I believe like it started as an FT in 2019 and 20, and then it go to the metaverse, and the metaverse boom, and now it's AI. I think the next year or the year after, something will be mixed between the metaverse and the AI, and it will boom again. This is what I believe, because each phase, like the trend come. Like first the trend was NFT, then like before was crypto, then NFT, then metaverse, then AI. So I think at some point the metaverse will be mixed with AI, and by then the metaverse will be revived again.
I don't know if anybody in the audience has any questions. You can request to come up if you want to ask any questions to the Decentraland Studios crew. Yeah, I have a bunch of other questions here. Oh, I was curious. Do you guys ever? I know a lot of the other squads do this. I think it would be really cool to do. I don't know if you guys have done like a meetup or a retro with all the verified partners to kind of brainstorm ideas and how to move ahead. And is that something you guys are planning or?
So we haven't done that before. We have a usability test coming, a testing Tuesday. I think it's on the 13th this month. Well, I mean in June. So anyone that would like to join us or to test our new feature, jobs, it's invited. I think it will be great to have some feedback from the community.
Oh, I love that. That's perfect. That's exactly what I was thinking. I figured there would be something like that. Yeah, it seems like a really cool thing for a lot of the squads, and we're probably thinking of doing that as well as facilitators, just getting feedback. And you guys are obviously so open to it and already doing it, but it's so fun. Imagine gathering all the studios and all the contributors in this a crazy whiteboard adventure.
So it's a fun fact, but there is a lot of studios really involved in Decentraland Studios. So maybe when we add maybe a new feature and we are missing something that used to have, they will like instantly let us know that, oh, this is broken, or maybe there is a bug in here, and we get this feedback, and we are always in touch with the community. We are always listening, and we are all in all the platforms. We are funded by the DAO, so we really own ourselves to this project and to the Decentraland community.
I had a question from before that I would love to ask is, let's say you're, what kind of tips would you guys offer somebody who's wanting to become part of the registry that they do like to kind of plan out and do before they start submitting? Is there any like things that you would advise them to do?
We are sometimes approached by studios that might not have like knowledge about Decentraland or what can be built in Decentraland, and there are some studios that where they build, but not for Decentraland. So we are always like in touch with a foundation to show them like which are like the right path to recommend them. Everything is well documented, so we usually send them to the documentation, and if not, we will like wait for them. There is a no deadline for the challenges sometimes, so maybe if there is a studio that it's not well prepared for some of the challenges, we don't rush them. We leave them some time, of course, and they can come anytime for recommendations or what to do next.
No, love that. 'Cause I'm sure there's probably some people who will listen to this wanting to be a part, not sure. It's sometimes intimidating, you know. So it's cool that you guys have thought of, you know, it seems like you think of a lot of ways to help ease that, you know, that process for them.
Yes, you are right, very right. You know, the new platform that we have just launched, let's say that you want to deploy or you want to your wearable to be built by some of the professionals that we have listed. This kind of project or job post doesn't mean that they have to be like huge. I mean, you can even post like some job for, I don't know, for the budget that you have. I think that the latest one or the first one that we have, it's around like from less than 1,000, and there might be some studios that are interested in working on it. So feel free to visit our site to get to know the platform, the form that you have to fill in order to post a job, and any feedback, we are always welcome.
Yeah, and I advise anyone who hasn't like checked it out, definitely head over to studios.decentraland.org and check out everything that we've been talking about over this past hour. And I saw that right away. I like how you do have up to 1,000, because sometimes people come and think they have to have a huge amount of money to get help from somebody else. But there are people, you know, smaller creators or like, you know, individual studios who would, you know, take all range. So it's nice to have that option.
Yes, of course, because in Decentraland Studios, you can also filter by the team size. Because as you might all know, there are studios that have, I don't know, 40 people working on. And we have also listed freelancers that they don't need like a huge infrastructure. So they might charge you less, and they will take like smaller jobs.
Yeah, I love how you also have region, because that also is helpful, because we have our communities, you know, global. So it makes it easier depending on where you're working or where you're located to have that option. And of course, the payment options as well. It's nice to, you know, the non yet crypto native people to pay in whatever format they're comfortable with to start, and then they'll dive in, I'm sure.
Yes, of course, of course. I think this tool that we created, it was really needed, and it's great that now it's live and it's available for everyone. So feel free to go test it, to try it out, and if you have any feedback or inputs that you would like to share with us, we are always available.
So what's the best way if anyone wants to get in touch with you guys? Is it Discord or just through here, through the actual studios.decentraland.org? There's the form to fill out, but to reach you guys, there you go. I see the governance. Is there your contact info on there as well? I'm trying to look through it right now to see.
Yeah, you can. Let's say that you want to reach us like immediately. There is an intercom in the website that anyone can use, or our information it's available maybe on in Discord and in Twitter.
Oh, cool. Yeah, you're saying the intercom. No, awesome. Yeah, there's a lot of. Yeah, I'm just scrolling through it, checking through that. Well, thank you so much for joining us here today. I don't know if anyone in the audience has any further questions, or if you guys have anything else you'd like to close with, yeah, unmute yourself and share away.
It was great talking to you, Practilians, for giving us the space to tell you and share with the community what we have been doing lately in the Decentraland Studios. We believe that our hard work is helping the community and the creators, and also our main goal is always to increase the visibility of the studios and to provide a smooth experience to potential clients. Thank you a lot.
Thank you. And Omar and Francisco, if you guys have anything else?
No, just thank you very much for giving us this space. It was great talking with you. You were like a great host for this. So thank you for organizing it.
Well, you guys were great to have on here.
Yeah.
It's always so much fun. Like, and it's been you got your first Twitter Spaces out of the way. So congrats to you all.
Yeah, I also want to say thank you to you. I didn't spoke a lot, but yeah, I feel very great about having this space to share what we are working on.
Yeah, it's wonderful so more people can hear about, start using and sharing. Because like I was saying earlier, I'm always constantly sharing this information and your PDF download just to give people an idea of the awesome magic and creativity that's going on in this space that we all love so much. And I'm really excited to see where this moves and how it evolves over time. So yeah. And also, you guys are in the Discord as well. So if anybody wants to in Decentraland DAO Discord, you guys can. You're always welcome to post anything on there as well. Great.
Yes, we have our own channel, and it's DCL Studios in Discord.
Awesome. Cool. You guys are because every grant has a section on there. I have to check it out. I haven't been on there for a little bit. Do you guys regularly post on there as well?
Yeah, we usually post our updates, and yeah, mostly that.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys. And with that, I think I'll start wrapping it up. And again, super grateful to have you guys join us. And if anyone in the community, like they said, go to studios.decentraland.org and dive in. And yeah, well, I guess that's it for today. And have a wonderful rest of your day, you guys. Thank you, Rix, for coming up here as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Woohoo! Bye, guys. Until next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.